Hey guys, it's Jackie. I'm an accredited AFC financial educator and personal finance writer, and I've been a longtime writer for Chime's In the Green. So today, we're going to go over how to create a very basic budget. To help you get started, we're going to walk you through budgeting for beginners. And while it does take a bit of work and time up front, and it won't be perfect from the start, seeing exactly where your money is going can help you gain greater clarity. Ultimately, it can help you see that you can be more proactive, hit your goals, and feel empowered. And that's what this is all about, feeling good about your money. Plus, when you create your own budget, you're going to have a much deeper understanding of what's going on with your money. First, let's create a budget. If you're a beginner and doing this for the very first time, we're here for you. We're going to walk through putting together a sample budget. Let's get started. So first, create a new spreadsheet and label it whatever makes sense for you. Let's say that you bring in about $3,000 a month, more or less. That's your take-home pay from both your day job and side hustles. Then pop in how much you get paid each month and when you get paid. For example, from your day job, you bring in about $2,800 and get paid twice a month. If you have a side hustle, include that too. So let's say the number changes each month. You can make an estimate and consider that as extra money. If you're not sure how much you bring in from side hustles, I would say to lean on the conservative side. To keep things simple, we're going to create a very straightforward expense tracking spreadsheet. You can think of a budget as your money present. In other words, paying attention to what comes in and goes out in your day-to-day so you can make informed choices. Now, go over your expenses. I'm going to break this down into two main categories: fixed expenses and variable or discretionary ones. Fixed expenses are ongoing monthly costs that don't change from month to month. So let's start with the fixed expenses, like rent, utilities, and car payments. For certain types of costs, I would get as granular as possible. For example, instead of clustering streaming subscriptions, write down each one line by line. If you're not sure of the exact amount, I would suggest rounding up. That way, you're leaving a bit of padding. I also like to separate the variable expenses from the fixed ones. That's because usually the variable stuff is what you need to watch more carefully and have to make more decisions over. Now, we'll pop in the variable expenses or things that change month to month, like groceries, gas, and going out with friends. I like to start with a brain dump. Jot down what's at the top of your head. These are usually the expenses that are more crucial. From there, you can check your bank statements and credit card accounts from the past 2 months to figure out rough averages. You'll also want to include in your budget any annual expenses. This might include, for instance, your car registration fees. From there, you can break down the amount over 12 months. That way, you won't be blindsided once the bill arrives. If you can, also try to fold in some goals into your budget. That way, these won't get overlooked. I know this isn't always possible, so don't worry about it if it doesn't make sense for you to include that. As you can see, when you create a budget as a spreadsheet, it gives you a lay of the land. It might also have moments like, oh, I forgot about that subscription, or I pay way too much for that. Of course, this is just an example. Over time, you can experiment with your budget and do what's best for you. At the end of the month, take a look at what you actually spent in each category and see if it matches up with your budget. Next to your estimated expenses, create a column for your actual costs. So you'll go through each expense line by line and see if the numbers in your actual expenses column match with what's in your expenses column. If this makes you a little nervous because, well, things tend to get a bit tight at month's end, consider checking what you're spending each week, or maybe every other week. This might be helpful, especially when you're new to budgeting and want to keep a closer eye on your spending. Plus, let's be honest, when you're feeling a bit of panic or money anxiety, which might happen at the end of the month, it's hard to want to make time to sit down and work on your budget. So once you've looked over your budget, you'll be able to see how much you really spend. If you're overspending, it's time to make some trade-offs or cut back. For example, after tracking your spending for a month, you find that your grocery costs are way more than you thought. So to make up for that gap, you can do a couple of things. Maybe unsubscribe from a streaming service, or maybe you could take the subway instead of driving to work. This could save you $50 on gas each month. Another way to save? You can see about saving on your internet bill. Call up your internet provider and see if there are any different plans. I did this not too long ago, and my bill went from $90 to $60. This saved me $30 a month, which added up to a total of $360 a year. It's a one-time move that netted me a lot of savings. I hope that making a budget helps you feel more confident about how you spend your money. If you're up for it, consider the No Spend Challenge. That's where you commit to not spending money for, say, a week or so. You can give it a test run by committing to not spending on non-essentials during the week and see how it goes. Thanks for watching. If you want this budget template, grab it in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more helpful money moves.